For the quiz on Friday, this is going to be a little extra practice if you feel that you need a little help with finding prepositional phrases. This is exactly like the same activity that you did when you worked in Center 3 on identifying prepositional phrases in the Ed Puzzle. So I'm just going to go through and do a screencast showing you the correct answers. This document was assigned on September 17th, and you should find it in your Google Classroom. It says Prepositional Phrase Practice number 1. So you might have to scroll down a little bit. And we started this together. We were looking for prepositional phrases. And just to recap, here's the formula that we're going to use. A preposition at the beginning. And we know it's a preposition because it's one of the words that we memorized on our list of the last 3 quizzes that we've done. You're allowed to have modifiers in the middle, and it must end with a noun or a pronoun, and we say that that noun or pronoun is doing the job of the object of the preposition. The only thing that cannot be in there is a verb, because if it's a verb, it's something else. So we're going to start with this first sentence. Did you know that you can plant a sunflower seed inside a cup? You'd go back and you'd look at your list to find a preposition. And I know that inside is a preposition, so I keep going until I find the end of that phrase. Inside what? Inside a cup. And if I wanted to break this apart, I'm looking for the word that's the preposition goes here. I always like to do the noun last, and then anything that's left over should be words that describe that noun. What kind of cup or which cup? A cup. It is simple and fun. Has no prepositions in there. To start with, gather the following materials from your house: a clear plastic cup, a wet paper towel, and a sunflower seed. Now I see 3 different things in here that were on our list to memorize for prepositions. The first one is the word to. When I think about the word to, I have to remember, is it followed by a noun? Does it follow this formula? And start and with, neither of those are nouns. I know that to can have a verb after it, in which case it's going to be called an infinitive. So I would think, is start a verb? Is it something you can do? And it is. And this is how we've been coding our infinitives. We put brackets around them. Now I see another word here, with. With is a preposition. It's a word that we memorized on our list. And right after with there's a comma, and there's no noun after with. It's not with something. It's just with by itself. If I see a preposition by itself, it's not a preposition anymore because there's no noun. It's actually doing the job of an adverb. Okay. So I'm still looking for my prepositional phrase, and I find the preposition from. So I want to think, is there a noun that comes after it? From what? From your house. So I'm going to highlight that in yellow. And find my preposition is from. The noun that's at the end, doing the job of the object of the preposition, is house. And which house? My modifier here is your house. Next, place the paper towel in the cup. Looking for a preposition, I could go word by word. I know paper towel isn't one of the words I memorized. In is, it shows the location. In what? In the cup. I'm going to highlight that. If I separate it, in is the preposition, cup is the noun at the end, and the tells me which cup, the cup. At this point, make sure that the paper towel covers the entire inside of the cup. I see 2 words that would work as prepositions, maybe even 3. So the first one is at. At this point. Point is a noun, so I know that's a prepositional phrase, at. Point is a noun. Which point? This point. Now I see inside and I see of. And I know that from our last set of prepositions that you can have a preposition that's made up of 2 words. And I think that that's the case here, even though this isn't one that we memorized. Inside of, because of, by way of. Inside of is going to work as a preposition. Inside of what? My noun is cup. Which cup? The cup. Place the seed on the paper towel and fold the paper towel over the seed. I see 2 words here that would work as a preposition, on On what? On the paper towel. So my preposition is on. I would accept either one here. Technically, the noun is a paper towel. But if you put towel here and used the and paper as modifiers, that would be acceptable as well. The next one is over. Over what? Over the seed. Oops. Over is the preposition. Seed is a noun. And my modifier here is the. Then place the cup on a table near a window. On is the preposition. On a table. And near is another preposition. Near a window. And I want you to notice how I'm kind of separating these. This is not one big long prepositional phrase. So make sure that if you have two right next to each other, you show me in some way that there's a break. I'm going to stop doing the separating of them just for the sake of time and just to make sure that you have the correct answers. But I would advise, if this is something that you're using to study, that you go back and you take the time to separate them. Making sure you know that the first word, that whatever you put in this column, should be on page 1 of your writing section, the list of prepositions, and that the last word has to be a noun. Make sure that a lot of sunlight is shining through the window. Through is one of my prepositions, through, throughout. So through, and window's the noun. If your plant does not get enough sunlight, it will not be able to grow. Okay, I've had a lot of people thinking that if is a preposition, and it's not. Of is a preposition, but not if. I see to here. I'm going to stop and think. Anytime I see the word to, I have to think, is it being used as a preposition or as an infinitive? I look at the next word, grow. Is grow a noun or a verb? And I know it's a verb. It's something that can be done to grow. I can grow other things. That's an infinitive, so I'm going to put brackets around it. It will take 3 weeks for your seed to sprout. So I see for what? For your seed. I see to again. I have to stop and think, is to being used as a preposition or an infinitive? And I know it's an infinitive because it's talking about the action of sprouting. To sprout. Meanwhile, record in a notebook any changes that you observe. In is a preposition. In what? In a notebook. And down to the last sentence, finally, you will be able to see your sunflower flourish. To can be a preposition or an infinitive. And here, I know it's an infinitive because it's followed by the verb see. And seeing is something that you can do. Now, one more note just to look at how we can identify prepositional phrases. They're extras in this sentence, and you can take them out. If I were to read this sentence without the prepositional phrase, meanwhile, record any changes that you observe. That phrase just adds more description, so I know where to do my recording. In this sentence, it will take 3 weeks for your seed to sprout. If I take out those extra phrases and just read what's left, it will take 3 weeks. The phrases give a little more information. Okay, so this is just something for you to use to check your work for your prepositions quiz that you're going to have on Friday. And again, it's really not something that you, I would have expected to study for. It's more paying attention in class, paying attention to the resources that we've done, paying attention as you watch the screencast in Center number 3.